Welcome to Empowered. I'm Elizabeth Naumovski. Money isn't just about numbers, it's actually deeply personal. For many women, financial stress can show up as anxiety, sleepless nights, even guilt or shame. But these feelings often trace back much further. These feelings are embedded from childhood lessons, early experiences, or even family trauma that shape how we think and behave with money today. So, how can we start healing that relationship? Today, I'm joined by Aseel El-Baba. She's a financial therapist and registered psychotherapist who will help us understand what emotional and physical stress around money looks like and what true financial well being really means. Aseel, welcome back to Empowered. How are you today?
Great to be here. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Yes, let's just dive right in. Why do so many people, smart people, still struggle with money?
I love that question because usually people who know better or think they should know better have a lot of shame when they're doing illogical emotional behaviors around money. But it's really important to understand that intelligence and even basic financial literacy does not override emotional conditioning and nervous system. And when we are in a triggered state, which money often puts us in, we are acting from that space of dysregulation, which leads to completely irrational decisions. I have clients who are usually accountants and have many letters after their name from financial designations and still have personal finances that are in mess, debt and shame and guilt around their personal habits. And that's because it's deeply emotional and it's a lot to do with um, the safety around their body. And that's usually overlooked in this conversation.
So let's just jump right in. What does financial stress look like emotionally and physically?
So emotionally, there's a lot of different layers that could surface from shame, avoidance, overthinking, spiraling loops, invasive thoughts. Physically, it shows up either when you're in a hypo or hyper arousal, which is outside your window of tolerance, outside the window that allows you to connect and think logically and be strategic. So that's either a freeze response, completely lethargic, no energy, just feeling completely unmotivated, or on the other side of it, just completely anxious, hyper vigilant, feeling like a fight or flight response. And that shows up in your heart rate, your breath rate, even sometimes like your sweaty glands. So many different signals in our body could tell us that something is off.
So I've often heard you talk about a money story. What is a money
Mhm.
story and where does it begin?
Yeah, money stories absorbed within the first 7 years of our life. And it's the set of beliefs that we grew up inheriting from an environment, either from what we heard explicitly or implicitly. As children, we absorb a lot of lessons by what we hear, what we observe. Sometimes we just absorb emotions without even understanding them or the context behind them. And that shapes the blueprint that we see money through and then used later on in life. It shows up in our behaviors and the circumstances that we continue to experience, patterns, things like that. But it's really that original set of beliefs that we were inherited.
So, let's go back to our childhood. How do childhood wounds or traumas actually shape our financial habits now?
Yeah. So our childhood wounds really teaches our nervous system to prioritize safety over logic, and from that, it could look like behaviors like hoarding money or having overspending for comfort, having our inability to have strong resilience around our emotions, using spending as an outlet to bypass uncomfortable emotions. It could be stuck in debt cycles, or avoiding finances altogether. So there's different ways in how it shows up in different people's life, but the core foundational pattern across different scenarios is that lack of safety with money, because financial trauma is anything that disrupted your sense of safety or security or normalcy growing up. So it shows up in how you deal with money and creating chaotic situations that continue to leverage and perpetuate that sense of lack of safety.
Okay, so we're going to go to commercial break, but when we come back, I want to talk to you about money decisions and how they are more emotional or are they logical. Don't go away.
Yeah.
We'll find out when you come back.